Welcome to Huts of New Zealand. In this series I will travel to backcountry huts all around New Zealand to record, review and rate my experiences to give you a better idea of what to expect when you go hiking around our beautiful country. Today I'm heading to Daphne Hut, a 12-bunk standard hut in the central North Island's Ruahine Ranges. To get there, turn off State Highway 50 onto Ashley Clinton Road, and then turn left onto Mill Road, and then left again onto Cashmere Road. This is a gravel road that is very steep and windy in places, so a capable vehicle, like a four-wheel drive, would be advised. After 15 minutes, take a sharp right turn to drop down the hill and reach the Daphne carpark. If you get to the Longview carpark at the road end, you've gone too far. Alternatively, you can continue along Mill Road until the road end, but the tracks from here mostly follow the Tukituki River and aren't recommended during winter. The car park off Cashmere Road is relatively small and has covered signs with track information which you should take a photo of to keep handy. There's no toilet here, but if you really need to go, there's one 2k's up the road at the Longview car park. As always, make sure you lock your vehicle before you set off and don't leave any valuables behind. The track starts off flat at an altitude of 580 metres and crosses a couple of streams before climbing 500 metres to the top of the ridge. Unlike the Longview track, which climbs through open regenerating scrub, this track travels through dense mature native beech forest rich in birdlife. The track itself gets steep in some places, but it's easy to follow and it's in good condition. After about an hour you'll reach the ridgetop where you'll find a signposted track junction. Turn right here to continue towards Daphne Hut. This section is beautiful because it's all downhill and you'll occasionally be treated to some great views of the mountain peaks to the west and of Hawke's Bay to the east. After another hour, the track drops steeply down to the Tukituki River where you'll have to say goodbye to dry feet. The next half hour will involve a few river crossings as you follow it upstream. Unfortunately, there are no riverside tracks or swing bridges, making this the most dangerous part of the track. After a few twists and turns, you'll finally reach a straight section of the river, and up on the river terrace to the right, you'll be greeted by Daphne Hut. The original Daphne Hut was a classic 4-bunk S81 hut, airdropped and built by the New Zealand Forestry Service in about 1960. Named after the nearby Daphne Spur, it was used by hunters until 1986, when members of the Takapau Lions Club built the new A-frame hut to accommodate more trampers and school groups. The hut has been renovated and maintained over the years by the Takapau Lions Club with support from DOC and the New Zealand Defence Force. Today, Daphne Hut provides most of the amenities you would expect, including a wood burner suitable for cooking on, a kitchen bench with a sink, a table and chairs, drying lines, a skylight, candles on the walls, and 12 bunks, although I counted 16 mattresses. Outside there is a long drop toilet, don't forget your toilet paper, a meat safe, a picnic table, and storage room under each side of the A-frame roof for gear and firewood. The left side can also be accessed from inside the hut by a little door which doubles as a fire exit. There's no water tank at the hut, so the only water source is straight from the river, which you'll need to filter or boil before using. There also wasn't any dry firewood when I stayed in midwinter, so I had to make do with scavenged wood and fire starters in an attempt to dry my shoes. Make sure you bring a gas stove to boil water and cook your meals, as you won't be able to rely on the wood burner. Due to its location at the bottom of the valley, there's no cell phone service, and the hut can be very cold and damp as it doesn't receive much sun in the winter. The river can also be fairly loud, so bring earplugs to block out the sounds of rushing water and of course other people's snoring. I was alone in the hut when I stayed, so I spent some time reading the books left behind and eating my backcountry cuisine. By the way, I don't recommend the all-day breakfast. And as the little heat from the wood burner diminished, I set up my sleeping bag and got cozy for the night. After a good sleep, I awoke to the cool, fresh morning and the sounds of the river. After my morning coffee, I packed up my things, swept the hut, and signed into the hut logbook. Before you leave, make sure the hut is clean, all the windows and doors are shut, and any used firewood is replaced. There's all sorts of things to do in the area around Daphne Hut. The riverbed provides an excellent place for trout fishing and hunting red deer, and I noticed plenty of deer sign. A 2-hour slog up Daphne Spur will take you to Howlett's Hut, another great hut with loads of history. Further up from here is the notorious Sawtooth Ridge and Taraha Peak, one of the highest peaks in the Ruahine Ranges. When heading back to the car park, it's usually best to return the same way back to Cashmere Road, but during summer you'd probably have more fun following the Tukituki River downstream to Mill Road, as you could swim and keep cool on a really hot day. Although my experience at Daphne Hut was a little cold and lonely, I could imagine that with a good group of people in the middle of summer it would be a spectacular time. I definitely plan on coming back, and I'll rate Daphne Hut 4 stars. It would be a really great place for a summer getaway. Make sure you check the weather forecast and get properly prepared before heading out to the hut. If the river is too fast, deep or murky, do not attempt to cross. There's no need to book, so it's first in, first served all year round. Check out the dock website in the description below for all the information on fees and how to pay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of the huts of New Zealand.
I can't feel my legs. Oh my god, it's so cold.